Good morning. I'm making a short video because it seems like a better way to speak to the members of the CLA about what happened when we were invited to go to the Treasury by the Exchequer Secretary to talk about the inheritance tax changes that are upon us. I'm speaking to you from the field we call Lower Tregenna. I've parked my truck over there so that the bullocks are lured over thinking that I'm going to feed them rather than mobbing me while I try to speak to you. It's no secret at this point that the meeting we had with James Murray, Daniel Zeichner and a whole horde of Treasury officials was very, very disappointing. And it was disappointing on two counts. The first was that there are things they really have to do to change the proposals that they've put out already, and those things are just the right thing to do. To not do them would be immoral and wrong. And I don't know how we can express it more clearly than that, but we will go on expressing it. The first aspect of that is that they must do something about what has become known as the grandfathering clause. They can't have intended when they set out that people in the last decades of their life would not be able to make use of the full scope of the potentially exempt transfer over 7 years. We were told that there would be full opportunities to make these adjustments, but of course if you're 70 or 80, those opportunities aren't available. And we really think they have to tackle both that and make a separate or indeed an additional adjustment for people who tragically are suffering from terminal illnesses earlier in their lives. The third thing, which I think was very simple, very straightforward and cannot be what they intended, is the effect that this is going to have on successions in Agricultural Holdings Act tenancies. It cannot be their intention that people will lose their successions because of this inheritance tax change. Alongside that, we had been asked to go to the Treasury with suggestions for, well, if you don't like this, what do you suggest? And the whole industry has agreed, has discussed and agreed proposals for an alternative, which is a tax clawback. Broadly speaking, and very roughly, a 7-year or maybe even 10-year clawback for the Treasury if you dispose of the land and the business or the assets of the business. This was met with, as if it hadn't even been suggested really, it was met with a brick wall. They said that they'd thought of everything, they'd looked at everything, and the suggestion that they had, not the suggestion, the rules that they have put forward in the budget are fair and just and equitable. They make no attempt to adjust to the fact that these are not assets of personal wealth, but business assets, and that people won't have the cash to pay the tax. Whereas if they do sell, under the clawback situation, they would have the cash to pay the tax. So where next for the CLA? Obviously, we will keep fighting this and fighting it on your behalf. I think we must go back to the Secretary of State and the Farming Minister and ask them to give us some very detailed answers to detailed questions. They have not given us any reason just to reject the clawback solution out of hand. So be assured, on your behalf, the CLA is still fighting this fight and fighting it every day. We are also making sure that we respond to the deluge of consultations that are coming out of government at the moment and giving expert advice to all of our members on how to tackle things on a day-to-day basis. So, I will get back to you on inheritance tax. I hope you are certainly confident that I will make your case strongly and as strongly as the CLA can, and that I will back it up with absolute data and facts. And I'll get back to you if I see some changes.